Begin lying on your back with the knees bent. And let's knock the knees together. So maybe placing the feet to the edges of your mat and just using the knees to support one another. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Maybe adjust the head so the chin is slightly tucked here. And just begin to consciously breathe. Breathing in a way that when you're inhaling, you feel your hands rise, lifting off your chest and your belly. And when you exhale, you feel your hands sink slightly, knowing that you're consciously exhaling. Continue breathing consciously here and begin to notice how you showed up to your mat today. Maybe noticing physically how you feel in this pose. Is there any areas of stiffness, soreness? Are there any areas in your body that feel really good? And just notice that. And then begin noticing how you feel mentally, emotionally. Just holding space for maybe what's going on in your life emotionally, in your mind and your thoughts. Just noticing what you're carrying. Without thinking too much into it or having any judgments, just allowing yourself to become aware of what you're holding. Let's release the hands down to the sides. Begin to windshield wiper the legs side to side. Inhale, knees come up. Exhale, they lower to one side. With the inhale, we switch. Exhale, lower. So this movement is very smooth and slow. The next time the legs are over towards the left, let's take the left foot and place it on top of the right knee, pausing here. And so let's bring the stretch up into your hip, up your hamstring, through your IT band. Just notice all the areas that you feel this pose in your body. Maybe even in your low back. Let the foot slip off the knee. Inhale up, exhale the other side. Pausing with the legs over towards the right to pick up the right foot and place it on top of the left knee. Keeping the right foot on top of the left knee, slowly pick up the legs, finding a figure 4 position. Maybe press away the inside of the right knee here. Then if you'd like, interlace the hands behind the left leg, draw the legs in towards your chest. Might be nice to find a little bit of space by wiggling in your right elbow into your inner right knee, maybe opening up a little broader here. You might also like to tilt maybe a little bit to one side or to the other. And slowly release the legs, cross the right leg over the left, give the inner thighs a little squeeze, and then switch out the legs. Now left foot goes on top of right knee. Left hand into the inner thigh of the left knee. And then when you're ready, taking it into figure 4 by drawing the legs in towards your chest. Finding any micro adjustments here. You might like to sway the hips right to left. Or just stay in center, whatever feels best for you. Allowing yourself to embody what it's like to be in this pose on your mat in this moment. When you're ready, cross left leg over right, give those inner thighs a little squeeze, and then extend left leg long, right knee comes into your chest. Interlace your hands on top of the knee, and just release and draw it inward a couple times. And then begin to swirl it around, moving through your hip joint, moving clockwise direction and then counterclockwise direction. And then coming into a supine twist. Draw right leg all the way over to the left. Reach right arm out to the side, and the gaze follows those right fingertips. Come into a deeper twist here. See if you can scoot your left hip a little bit under your right hip. If you'd like to deepen this even further, keep the knee high up into the chest. If this is a little bit too intense, you can lower the knee down a little bit, but maybe using that left arm to actively draw the knee down towards the floor. Inhale, unwind. Come flat onto your back, extend both legs. Reach left knee into your chest, interlace the hands on top of the knee. And then just rock the knee into the chest and then out and away towards you a couple times. Beginning to circle the knee, moving in one direction, and then moving in the other direction. When you're ready, left knee comes all the way over towards the right side of your mat, coming into supine twist on this side. Reach left fingertips out long. See if you can scoot right hip just a little bit under the left. Gazes out to the left. Find any minor adjustments here so you can get the most out of this stretch. And then just let yourself settle, coming back to your breath. Take a moment to notice how it feels in your body to hold this pose. Inhale, everything unwinds. We're going to bring the knees into the chest. We can just make tiny circles with the knees on the ceiling, circling in one direction and then the other. And we're going to come into Apanasana, so with an inhale, straighten the arms, knees over hips. Exhale, use your core to draw the knees into your chest. As if the hands were just along for a ride here, we're using the core and simultaneously giving our back a gentle massage here. One of the main causes of low back pain is not having a strong enough core. So just doing a little bit of core work here. Feeling the belly button draw in towards the spine as you draw the knees in towards your chest. Place the hands behind the knees and rock and roll forward, finding your way into a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. With an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine and tuck your tailbone. Moving through cat-cow, link your breath with your movement. Moving slow and steady here. If you'd like, your eyes can close, just allowing you a sense of diving into this pose just a little bit deeper. Isolating your senses, really feeling the pose in your body. Really feeling the tuck and lift of your tailbone as you move in and out of each pose. Really experiencing the flexion of your spine as you arch your back up high, as you drop your belly low. Maybe even drawing your attention to your neck, how it feels to drop the chin into the chest, and then how it feels to lift the gaze high. Walk the hands one hand length out in front of you. Lift hips high, downward facing dog. Bend the knees deeply here. Lift the tailbone high and dive the chest down toward the tops of the thighs. Reach through the arms, really creating a flexion through the spine, a lengthening here. Begin to pedal out the feet, bending one knee and then lengthening. Notice how this feels in your legs. And then take baby steps up to meet the hands, finding forward fold. Let's take the hands behind the calves and draw the upper body in towards the legs. Tip the weight towards your toes, and then allow opposite hand to grab opposite elbow. Letting gravity do the work here, leaning forward, letting everything go. Hands frame front foot, step right foot back, coming into a low lunge. Hands interlace on the top knee. Back foot is flat and straight. Front knee is right over the front ankle. Really letting the hips sink into this pose here. If you feel anything sharp or uncomfortable, feel free to back off a little bit. But as we're experiencing a deep stretch through the hip here. Hands frame front foot, step back coming into a high plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale up, flip the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Look over your left shoulder, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, lift hips high, downward facing dog. Lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. Reach through the shoulder blades just a little more. Open up the heart just a little further down towards your mat. And begin to pedal out your feet. Baby steps up to meet your top of your space. Find your forward fold, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Walk the feet just a little wider than hip distance. And once again, shift all of your weight forward. Let gravity do the work here. See if you can release any extra tension in your face, in your head, in your shoulders. Hands frame front foot, step left foot back. Find your low crescent lunge. Hands come interlaced on that front knee. Check in with your knee, make sure it's right over your ankle. Make sure the back leg is straight. Hips are heavy, weight is sinking forward into the pose. Oftentimes when we have low back pain, it can be caused by tightness in other areas of the body. There's all this connective tissue stemming from our low back into our hips, our legs, our glutes. So you're just easing a bit of that tension that we often carry in our hips. Hands frame front foot, step back high plank. Exhale forward and down, chaturanga. Inhale, rise, flip the tops of the feet, finding upward facing dog. Lift the gaze high, full expression here. Look over your left shoulder. Look over your right shoulder. Drop the knees, lower down, child's pose. Keep the knees together here, sit bones reaching down towards the heels, forehead to the mat. And let the arms be completely relaxed. Noticing the curve of your lower back here. Maybe noticing if you can feel your breath breathing through your upper back, the back of your rib cage expanding and contracting. Slide forward, come onto your forearms, and let's find a Sphinx pose. So allow yourself to be really active here, actively pressing out and up of the pose. So you're not just sitting here slouching, you're pressing into the hands, into the elbows, lifting the chest up and out. Strengthening your low back. Exhale, come on down. Make a little pillow for your head with your hands. Maybe windshield wipe the legs side to side. Coming into a short rest here, lying on your belly. Now resting the legs long. Let's turn the cheek to the other side. Maybe just beginning to notice, checking in with our bodies once more, with how our bodies feel physically, and how our minds feel. And how you're feeling emotionally. Come up whenever you're ready to a kneeling position, hands at heart center. Namaste.